honey, I got what you want. Give me all of your love, 'cause it's burning hot. It's what you do to me, babe, I can guarantee. Honey, I got what you need. Under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me lies now, I always get mine. Don't play with me. Do you want it? Can you feel me? No, can you handle it? Right? Do you want it? No, put your love on hold. I can't take it anymore. Put your love on me now. Trust me and you will see. Honey, I got what you want. Honey, I got what you need. Honey, I got what you want. Honey, I got what you need. Give me your love, no holding back, no. We could take it to the stars, where you wanna go. The things that we can do, don't need to prove you know. Honey, I got what you want. Yeah, under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me no lies, I always get mine. Don't play with me. So do you want it? Do you want it? Can you feel me? Can you feel me now? Can you handle it? Alright. So do you want it? Don't put your love on hold. I can't take it anymore. Put your love on me now. Trust me and you will see. Honey, I got what you want. Honey, I got what you need. Honey, I got what you want. Honey, I got what you need. So don't put your love on hold. Can you feel me? I can't take it anymore. Don't put your love on me. Trust me and you will see. Honey, I got what you want. Honey, I got what you need. Honey, I got what you want. Honey, I got what you want, got what you need now.
Turn it up.
Hello! Hello, streamers. Hello, video creators. I'm in trouble. So I'm trying to take care of something. Hello. Today is Friday, which means we get to hang out and have some fun together. And it's Q&A day. That means you drive this show. You get to decide what we talk about when I go live on Fridays for Q&As. And so I was like, something's wrong with my lighting. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, I fixed it. So, I was just running massively late today, because a call ran late. But it was a really good call. Ran late, so I didn't get to like fix up everything, and so that's what I was doing during the countdown timer. Usually, I'm more prepared, but I am excited to just hang out with you. If you have questions, I'm still getting things up and running today. I apologize. We're just going to call it what it is, and I'm going to blame Greg. That's all. We're just going to blame Greg for it. Everybody blame Greg in the comments. He's not here, so that'll be even more fun. Let's see. Okay, I'm pulling everything up. I have you now. I have all of your questions. So if you have questions that you want to talk about, put a Q in front of the questions. I am also doing the thing that I am supposed to do before the show and turned on Super Chats. Super Chats do take priority if you don't want to wait through the queue. If I go on a tangent and you're like, Luria, hi, shop. I just want my question answered. You can jump to the top of the queue and I will prioritize you. Marianne, nice to see you. Hi, David Ryan. Austin in the house. Oh my God. Renee, I don't know. I said I was in trouble. And he came back with this. Yeah, you don't have to see yourself out exactly, but you do have to, I don't know, like if you're late, you have to bring cookies. There has to be some kind of thing, I think. Trouble begins with T and that rhymes with P for Petrucci. Y'all are like, what's happening in the comments? Y'all are just cracking jokes left and right. I love it. Oh, Focus and Bloom, thank you so much. If you are new, please do type new in the comments. I'm sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained this morning. I'm glad that you're here. Can I ask you a question? What's your real name? I am happy to call you by Focus and Bloom. I love to know who I'm talking to as well. And what is your content about? Is it like gardening, bloom, I'm guessing, but Focus and Bloom? So let me know. Let me know what your content is about. Party time with Q&A. Yes, totally. Darn it, Greg. Freaking Greg. I mean, made me late. I see your questions coming in. We're going to get to question here in just a second. Oh, Renee got called out. How will we get our questions answered if you shut up? That is a very good point, Jim. Everybody's got a little bit of like feistiness going on today. Was it just that kind of week? Is it just that kind of week? You are not new. You can't say that. Okay, so we've got questions coming in. I am starring them so I can bring them up on camera as well. Okay, so first and foremost, I didn't get all of them. That's okay. Yesenia, video podcast content creator. Awesome. What's your content about? Yesenia, that is such a beautiful name. I love that. Gardening. Oh, you do love gardening. Okay. Long weekend equals time. Oh, it is a week. It's a long weekend. Did I give my team the weekend off? I don't know. Well, it is a holiday weekend here in the US. And I hope that you enjoy the beautiful weather. If you have it, I hope that you do something fun for yourself this weekend for sure. But is it time? Is it? It's not time. Because I have something special to share with you. Okay, I'm getting to questions, I promise. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Getting to questions. Just one quick thing. New on the store as of today. Paul has been going nuts with the animations. And we used to do like kind of like just overlays, but now like they're like animated, like these that you know how much I love. Oh, like that, yes. But also, where's my That's not even triggering. Where's my mind blown? Hold on. We gotta show you. Reaction. Wrong one. Hold on. See, I'm just blaming Greg today. It was just like I didn't get a chance to set up anything. I had to switch gears from a video I did yesterday. Mind blown! We have these in the store. And today, Paul stop it. Today, Paul put these up on the store. So falling balloons, you can also get them rising as well. And so if you want to celebrate, anything in your streams, in your videos, you can have them either come up or you can have them fall down, however you want to play the game. And I think these are just super, super cute. We also have a summer special on timers. So if you like the different timers, I switch up my timers from time to time so that you can see different styles and different environments. And we have lots of timers on the store of anything that you might want. So for your countdowns, and that's going on a summer sale right now. So, okay, let's see. Well, so that would be funny. That would be great. And he does do funny stuff, just using stream elements as well. Like he'll throw things up on screen at me, and I don't know what's going on unless I'm actually watching. Been a while. You helped me so much over the years. Aw, Antonio, thank you. I used so much of your knowledge last night on a podcast I helped live stream. I am so, so excited to hear that. Congratulations for using that knowledge and not just consuming balloons, new balloons. Okay. If you have questions, put a Q in front of it. Yes, we have fireworks. I mean, we have all kinds of different animations that you can use to engage your audience further. I don't want to admit this. I don't remember the last time I used a countdown, but you've been so focused on shorts, Sammy. That's okay. I'll give you an out. I'll give you an out on that. So glad to have caught you live. So glad that you are here live. Let's get to questions. So again, the rules of the game are anything goes. Whatever you drive the conversation, whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it, whether that's technology, whether that's audience growth. Last week, we had some amazing conversations that went totally on a tangent, and I love when you ask those questions. Yeah, so I'm here for you, whatever you have on your brain. And put Q in front of the question so that it makes its way into my queue. Super chats take priority. All right, Victor. Victor says, don't know if with the streamer app, do you know if with the Streamer X, if you use it for audio and video, does it process both and keep them in sync? Yeah. So, or would people still need to add audio delays with their Sonys? So, audio, like if you're going in 4K, we've had that conversation before, right? Audio delays are going to be a thing. But if you're not, Streamer X, that's kind of what it's built for, is sending that signal over and making sure that everything is safe. You shouldn't have to. I do have one on its way. It is coming to me. I missed an email from Rode. Whoops. So I'm a little late. But I mean, we're just going to blame the whole like surgery hospital thing. Like, we're just going to blame that. They followed up with me. I missed it. We have that coming. And I will get you a demo and more in-depth information ASAP as soon as I get that. And so I'll test that for you, Victor. But generally speaking, that's kind of what it's built for. So we should be good to go is my expectation on that. All right, next question came from Focus and Bloom. How do you use your ATEM with the Stream Deck and Ecamm? Did it just, when I added that to broadcast? Oh, strange. I must have, I know what happened. I forgot to go back to the scene. I was like, did that comment just throw my scene off? I thought it did. Okay, how to use your ATEM with the Stream Deck and Ecamm. Okay, so great question. So here's the deal. Hold on. No, gosh darn it. Hold on, I'm getting into your question. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, we're just gonna put that question back up because I screwed something else up. How do you use your ATEM with the Stream Deck and Ecamm? So ATEM is a camera switcher, a hardware camera switcher. Ecamm is a software camera switcher slash software package. So you build out all of this stuff, right? You can put the comments on screen. You can put, call to actions. But this is supposed to be go to the store and get your balloons. Um, and you can, have these little animations going and all of that. So that's the difference between like ATEM and Ecamm, right? Is like hardware versus software. The Stream Deck itself is not going to work in conjunction with the ATEM, although it might. I'm curious if anybody knows that, because ATEM, I believe there's that software. You could actually do some hotkeys, so you might be able to. I haven't not tested that, and now I have something else to test. I want to write that down. Kathleen, Dave, can somebody send me that? I actually want to test that. The Stream Deck and Ecamm work hand in hand. And I actually have a live video that I did on this recently where I was teaching somebody how to build that out. So essentially what happens, I'm just gonna share my screen real quick so you can see this. Just making sure I don't have anything on the screen. Okay, cool. Let's go into demo mode and okay, so what you're seeing now is my screen, right? So Ecamm itself, I have all of these different scenes built out. If you look at this window right here, I have all of these different scenes built out. So as I switch between, one, I can go to the right? And so we have all of the different things. And a scene is essentially a gathering of assets. This is an asset. This overlay is an asset. The camera itself is an asset. This comment is an asset. This call to action is an asset, right? So we have multiple different assets, or it could be just the camera itself. So that's how you build out Ecamm. And then inside of Stream Deck itself, this is the software of Stream Deck. You're going to tie this button that corresponds with the physical hardware button right here, right? So like we're looking at this one. That is attached to a scene. Now, Stream Deck can do a whole lot more than just attach to a scene. You can do a lot of different things, and we have training on that. We have lots of videos on that as well. If you want to see something specific, let me know, but hopefully that helps kind of describe the difference between each of those three things. If you have follow-up questions on that, please do let me know, because that's what we're here for today, just to answer any and all of your questions. All right. Okay, next question came from Renee. How do you do so many streams, calls, webinars, Zooms, etc. without losing your voice? I'm resorting to hot tea with honey and ginger because I'm talking so much at work some days. Yeah, so this is a great question, one I've gotten a lot over the years. And here's the truth. So I will say I don't tend to lose my voice. I've done a lot of like 8-hour, 12-hour, I've done a 24-hour stream. I've spent years over my career, like in long streams. And so my voice just seems to be able to handle it really well. That being said, when it does fail, there was like the one time I can remember it being like an issue was an AB show. And we were doing this whole like big demo, lots of interviews. We were using at that time for this stream like 17 Mevos or 11 Mevos or something crazy like that, all connected, and that was a pretty cool stream. But I will say this. So this is a personal decision. I do not, when I need that, I don't do tea, because I know that tea goes straight through me and I need to pee. Like, I don't know if that's normal. I might just be weird, But tea for me, like I've got to pee. So if I'm on camera or I'm talking, I'm doing presentations, I don't want to have to go pee. So I actually just do hot water with lemon. That's my go-to when I need it. But I don't find myself needing it often. But if you like the hot tea and honey and ginger, then go for that. Does it soothe your, voice? Does it make it easier? I think that's a really apparently Dave was on hot drink duty. That's funny. Yeah, I remembered that somebody was, because I kept getting the hot water and lemon. But yeah, it was I think I think it's really just a personal preference for what works for your body. I know some people will do like cough drops in between. I've heard a lot of the hot tea. I just personally can't do it if I have to be on camera. So, is this a fact? Is this a fact? Because this is a fact for me. I just didn't know if I was weird or if anybody else had that issue. Yes, Dave Peterson made the hot drink show up like magic. Dave, well, we can't use magical on you, Dave, because that's already Paul's, and I have a mug that says it. We don't have a mug that says Dave Peterson. We could make a mug that says Dave Peterson brings the hot drinks. That's starting to go down a weird song path that seems to be in my head. Now I want some tea. All right, everybody, go get some tea. Don't go away. Like keep this stream on. But all right, next question. I don't have any more favorited. Oh, Psalm. What cameras are you using for your beautiful videos? Why, thank you. I'm glad that you like the quality of our videos. That's what we specialize in around here, is you making sure that you have all of the tools that you need to be able to create pro level videos and live streams. Yeah, we can go with that. My particular camera here, this particular camera is the Sony ZV-E10. Now, this Sony ZV-E10 has a 30mm lens. I have a video on this channel that walks you through the different lens choices. I show you 3 different lenses and how they compare side by side, just so you can see like what that crop does. So if you go with a kit lens, you're going to be able to like choose a few different options. If you want, like a really high quality picture, you want that blurred background, you're going to need some control over that. And you kind of want to go with like the extra lens. So I have that video on this channel. This camera right here is a Canon M50 Mark II. Don't buy just the Canon M50. If you see that on sale or whatever, don't buy that. Just go with the 2. This is the ZV-1. And y'all, this is my weekend project right here. This is a disaster zone. All of the I get so many boxes. I get so many like different, anyway. This is my weekend project, cleaning that up and allowing myself to actually be able to use the test station that I built so that I can record some more videos for you guys. Because I've got, oh my gosh, I have a bunch of products over there right now in the test station. That test station is like secondary station, so that I can I can unplug things and plug them back in without messing with my whole setup here. So anyway, I gotta record a bunch of videos this weekend. I said that last weekend. This weekend I'm actually going to do it because I promised my team I would. And they're like, where are my videos? Where are our videos? Anyway, so I gotta clean this up first, then I can record. And the ZV-1, so the whole point is, that's a great question. Oh my God, yes. How many boxes are in that pile? Here's the deal. Can we do a survey? Or no, you guys choose. Tell me how many boxes you think are in the pile. And I will post in the community tab after I count them. And we'll see who wins. Actually, maybe I'll just do a poll in the, I don't know how to best do this. That would be a fun community thing though, is if I actually told you how many there are. Okay, so I was gonna say, these two cameras are specifically the cameras that are so I use all like Sony's various different models of Sony's throughout the main cameras that I have. These two, not my favorite cameras, and so I kind of use them as behind the scenes cameras. If you're in the Canon ecosystem, the Canon is totally fine. I don't tend to mix and match. Like if I'm going to do a side camera angle, like I have over there, which is not hooked up at the moment. So if I do a side angle, I want that to be the same brand, because if you're not familiar with this, like Canon versus Sony versus Nikon versus Panasonic, they all use different color grading, color schemes. And so if you're going to use multiple cameras in your setup, that's something to really think about, is making sure that you're not mixing and matching. If you do, because that's what you got, that's okay, but you're going to want to spend some time in the software to match those colors up. What you don't want is, the color of your skin changing dramatically, going more red, typically, right, to a different camera. So just think through that a little bit more. That will give you better quality video if you're, doing different cameras. I've realized I've hit that time of year where I'm going to have to actually shut my windows. And so we have, if you're not familiar, I have these windows all around. Like this is my home. And I love my light. I love my windows. And I open my windows up like as much as I possibly can. And I hate closing the shades. I have my shades are, you can kind of see, like they're not actual like shades. Like they're kind of transparent. They're the sheer. That's the word I was looking for. I'm not a decorator. I'm so words come hard. But you like they're sheer, so they don't really block the light. Anyway, I've just been realizing that I'm at the time of year where the light is streaming in more than it does in the winter, and so I'm gonna have to start getting my light blocking curtains. They're Velcro strips that I put up against the window, and doing that before the shows now or before recording. That kind of sucks, but that's okay. That's part of what we do as content creators, isn't it? That's why I suggest to you that you have a one and done setup. Like you don't have to do those, but I'm in a bit of a different situation that I was choosing to do so when words fight back, right? I have a GoPro as an additional streaming camera. The color is crazy. I even have the flat color profile chosen, right? Those plants need sunlight. Exactly. And I am essentially a plant. I need sunlight too. I need all the sunlight. You like Sony hardware, but color science. Yeah, that sucks when you're like, but I like one of each. Wait, hold on. I went ahead. So what's going on with the pinned comments for small YouTubers? Confused am I? No more pinned comments. Did they? I don't know. I mean, if Renee wants to chime in, I'm not sure if he knows, but I don't know. Sorry, I don't have any good answers for that. Do a poll with possible guesses. How many did y'all ask? Oh wait, 22, 37, 17. All right. S-Log3 has been what you doing for the best color on my cameras. Fantastic. Yeah, see, I can't do that. Like, what is wrong with you, Victor? I love you, but something's wrong. Okay. Oh, yes, we've put pinned comments behind advanced features. All right, so if you look in advanced features, you should find that. Thank you for having an answer, because I had no idea. All right, next question. Wait, hold on. I see that something is going on in the chat.
Security breach. Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome.
Woohoo!
Security breach. Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome. Shutting down. Security breach. Scanning.
Mystic Parks is back. Hi.
Welcome. Shutting down. Security breach.
Fluffy.
Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome.
Fluffy clouds. Okay.
Shutting down.
Hi, welcome everybody. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for gifting the memberships. Amazing of you. Marco, I thought you already were, but we can have a separate discussion of that. That's okay. Mystic Parks, Tina, Orf, and Fluffy Clouds. Thank you so much. Kathleen, your tech coach, for gifting those. And welcome to my membership. Thank you for being here. Okay. Next question. Oh, a little bit more information on that before we go to the next question. TLDR, bad actors we're abusing. You don't say. There are no bad actors on YouTube, Renee. I don't know what you're talking about. That has to be like a lie. I don't know what you're talking
Security
about.
breach. Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome.
ePhoenix,
Shutting down.
welcome. Thank you so much for joining the membership. Okay, so so we wanted comments to be safe for the community. Thank you for that. That's amazing. So this just helps make sure it's good faith creators using the feature. All right, cool. Summer Start celebration. Speaking of summer, speaking of summer, we have a new summer sale on our countdown timers. So if you are interested in countdown timers of various kinds for your live streams, you can head on over to the store. Summer sale going on there. I believe we dropped the price to only $14. So there's that. And then we also launched these as of today. So you can have some fun with some balloons, falling, rising, different colors, various options. And you can just have fun with that, not only in your live streams, but in your videos or shorts or whatever you're creating. I mean, just go haywire, just have fun. All I want is for you to have fun. All right. Okay, I'm coming. I'm just, you're like a Magua. Magua? Is that how you say that? Whoops. Never expose it to sunlight. Never get it wet. Never ever feed it after midnight. So you never eat after midnight? Because you're a night owl, aren't you, Victor? I'm pretty sure you are. Oh, my goodness. Well, Callie is still on vacation. Callie comes back on Monday. And so you can, cookies for everyone but Callie. Wow. I'm going to tell her that you didn't want to give her cookies. Oh, you brought eggs. I'm sorry. I should read the whole comment. I should just read the whole comment. All you want to do is have some fun. All I want is for you to have fun, Stan. How you doing? I'm doing fantastic, Darren. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, next question. Between Creator Classroom and Renee, I'm going to let you guys have that conversation in the chat room because I don't have anything to add. Okay, let's see. Novice asked, do you suggest vlogging my journey of cosmetology school and uploading every day or weekly? So Novice, remember you and I actually chatted a little bit about this and I don't think we went too deep. So happy to kind of give you some more thoughts on that. So what Novice is doing is going through cosmetology school, and the videos that he wants to create is around around fashion and cosmetology, right? I think that it's a dangerous start if you're vlogging, if you don't want to continue that. I think that it depends on what kind of audience you want to build, right? And so if you're looking to create just a community of people who like you and want to see whatever journey you're on from here on out, then vlogging can do that. I don't really know what the state of the vlogging world is at the moment. In terms of effectiveness or whether that's really hitting home with people right now. I mean, it used to be a big thing. I would love to dive into information on this, but I haven't in a while. And so I don't really know if that's a good option. I mean, I know there are lots of channels that do really, really well with not topic based, but kind of overarching, just whatever thought of the day type of thing. But if you look at those, and I think that this is where you need to do some research. If you look at those, they're very good. Like it's like their storytelling is spectacular. The way they present is spectacular, right? So it's not just, I think that a lot of people think vlogging can be low effort. And if that's the way you're thinking about this, I don't think it's going to lead you to the results that you're hoping for, right? So either when you think low effort, right, if you're not going to put like all of this time and effort into storytelling and video production and like the process that's going to keep attention for people, if you're not going to do that, then you have to have an amazing personality that people are just poosh attracted to. I'm just trying to tell you like it is, like that. And I don't know you enough to know, that. But I think that has to be a piece of this conversation. Right. And so I think that's, Casey Neistat shows that vlogging is a lot of work. Yeah, it can be, right? Not everybody has, there are always outliers, right? So, but my point is, I believe that what you're trying to do, if I remember correctly from our conversation, is ultimately, you're wanting to create more like, kind of content that isn't vlogging. And so you could always start, you're going to have if you start vlogging and then you want to shift your content, that's going to be a transition. And that every time you pivot, every time you have a transition, you're going to have a challenging time. Every creator who has ever pivoted in their content or transitioned in some form or fashion has a bit of a difficult time through that. It is totally possible, but just know that if you're going to start with one kind of content and lead to a different kind of content, you're going to have a transition period where the algorithm gets confused, where people get confused. By the way, yes, Gina, it is live. Thank you so much for being here. And I actually, this is a great Renee and Todd from YouTube on the Creator on the Creator Insider channel posted a video yesterday where Todd is talking. He's in head of Discovery, and so he talked through like algorithm decisions and how you need to think about that. Really great video yesterday. I was going to share that, but I kind of got a little sidetracked. Okay, so anyway, those are some things to think about if you if you're trying to like decide on how to go about your content. You can maybe do like educational content, but I don't think that's where you want to go. So really get clear on kind of like what type of community you're trying to build, what type of channel you're trying to build. Any type can work. You also need to discover who's doing that really well out there in the world of YouTube. And keep in mind, different platforms are different in terms of what works and what doesn't. So, oh boy. Wait, hold on. Oh, Nona, welcome. I'm answering any question you have around video, around live streaming, whether you're thinking about tech. You can see all the tech I have going on. If you have questions about tech for video recording, for Zoom, for live streaming, if you're having questions about your content, that's what we were just talking about, is somebody's channel and their content. And then also, if you have trouble getting engagement, audience growth, community building is one of my favorite things to talk about for sure as well. All right. We've got a lot of new people in here, it seems. Ed, thank you so much. I love that you're targeting a Hispanic audience. I think that niche, like, it can be really powerful. I have some students who ignore the general world and really focus in on like a specific audience or specific language, and that can work incredibly well for a lot of people. So. Okay, next question. If you have a question for all of the new people that we seem to have here, thank you so much for being here. We are live, and I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm live every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Tell me something about yourself if you're new, and I love to learn what you're struggling with. So that's why we do these Q&As around anything you have questions about when it comes to tech or live video or video strategy. Live video included, obviously, given the name of this channel. So we're just answering random questions about all of this stuff. And Marco says, please hit the thumbs up to support Luria. Oh, thank you. Okay. I can always count on Marco to do the thing that I'm supposed to do. And you can also subscribe if you're new around here. If you haven't subscribed, I would love, love, love for you to do so. And that way you can get notifications and come back, hang out with us more, learn more. And we always have fun. We just always like to laugh and have fun and enjoy our education. All right, next up. I have to kind of go backwards here. Okay, Fire Sai. My name is Sai. Hi, Sai. I'm looking to buy a camera for traveling. Do you recommend a camera that's between $800 and $1,500 to make travel videos for YouTube? Great question. So are you on the go? Yes, for traveling. Okay, so you're on the go. At that stage, so here we have like a whole, I don't remember if we have like an on the go. I think we have an on the go option for you. You might want to check that out and see. But like the camera that I have in studio, right, is not necessarily like it could be a great camera for on the go, but it depends on how on the go you are. That comes with a lot of nuanced decisions. The ZV-1, the Sony ZV-1 is like a $700-800 camera. And because it's lighter, like you're not going to put a lens on it because it's not interchangeable, like, but it's lighter for mobile efforts. And so that could be a really good one and keep you at that low end of the budget. If then you can spend that extra money on things like accessories. I would totally get a switch pod from Pat Flynn. I don't have one right here to show you, but the switch pod will help your on the go shooting a lot more as well. So yeah, sorry, this is random. But Mike, I don't know why I just called you Michael because it says Michael. Love, love, love. It's supposed to be love, love, all caps love. Like love, love, love. That's how I write it. Just so we're clear. Like, I mean, we need consistency here. Okay. And by the way, speaking of Sheldon, random fact, who has heard, I don't know if anybody has heard this before because it's been a long time since I said it. Back in the day, I got to interview the co-founder of The Big Bang Theory, the co-creator, and I got to sit in Sheldon's chair, like his spot. Nobody gets to sit there. I got to while interviewing the co-creator of Big Bang Theory. So that was like one of my biggest like yes moments in my career. I mean, and then I think like he was kind of coming, the actor. Right? He was coming in as I was leaving. I was like, nobody tell him, nobody tell him, nobody tell him. Yeah, yes. I'm sure that video is on the internet somewhere. I don't know what you would search for. Yes, I did sit in Sheldon's chair. It was amazing. I was just so, like, one of my favorite moments. How can it not be? Okay, next question. Salvation. What strategies should we use to achieve 4,000 watch hours? This is a highly nuanced, okay, I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here, and if you've been around me, you know This is a great comment. That's so funny. Am I cooler in your eyes now? Is that what is that? I hope. Okay. So let's talk about strategies if you're a small channel. This is something that I have very strong feelings about. Okay. Yes, there are a ton of videos online, right? Ton of videos on YouTube, how to grow as a small channel. And my belief, having been doing this for 17 years, having helped thousands of students, seen many people give up, many people succeed, and everywhere in between, there is not one right answer. And that's the problem that I see with this conversation, generally speaking. There is not one right answer to any of the way that you find success. My firm belief is that you use strategies to grow. You use strategies to have success in whatever you're trying to do, build your business, grow your channel, whatever we're talking about. And you have to add your own magic to it. You have to add your own extra oomph to that. And that's where the success comes from. But here's the deal. It has to start with thinking about kind of the vision of your channel. What are you trying to accomplish? What kind of lifestyle do you want? And you don't know those answers in full when you're just beginning to get to those 4,000 watch hours. You don't. But the reality check is that you have to at least think about it, because the same strategy that works for one channel to blow up quickly or to just get to 4,000 hours is going to lead you to a lifestyle, going to lead you to potential burnout if you're not interested in that. So, somebody can put a video out there that says, hey, like if you do 3 shorts a day, you're going to be able to blow up on YouTube, hit those 4,000 watch hours, which you actually have. If you're doing shorts, you have a different method into the partner program. If you're doing recorded videos, this is what you do. You need to identify what you want to be spending your time doing is one thing, right? And you also have to really think about what type of content you're creating. And I think this is kind of a chicken or the egg situation. You have to experiment, you have to do in order to know what you like spending your time on doing or not. I was just having this conversation with my accelerator students this past week. When you build out like a course or a membership, like you wind up doing it the way people tell you to do it, and then you have to kind of make some shifts along the way because maybe you hate spending your time doing things that other people suggest. And so it is a bit of a chicken or egg situation. I just want you to get strategic and thinking about an end result as much as possible in those early stages. And that will mean that you have less burnout, that you'll have more success faster because you're being more strategic rather than throwing spaghetti up against a wall. I don't know why that's a phrase, but whatever. I'm Italian, so I'll use it while moving my hands all around. So I want you to get strategic and thinking through these things as much as possible in those early stages. That being said, then it depends. These are nuanced conversations, and I am not going to sit here and tell you this is the one right answer. I think that you will see that a lot, and I just want to be so brutally honest with you that you are willing to either decide to do the hard things in thinking and being strategic, or whether you want to be like everybody else who winds up burning out and being miserable. Like, it's what I see out there. And so I'm always going to be honest with you about that. So that being said, if you're going to be a shorts channel, there's specific strategies. If you're going to be a VOD only channel, there's specific strategies. If you're going to be using live streaming in addition to VODs, video on demand, the recorded videos, then that's a different strategy. And so we have to really think through that. And that's kind of really what we do inside of our programs is help you think through all of that. That's not even open right now. And so I want to help you as much as possible, but I cannot give you that answer. Maybe that's a series of videos that I need to do, actually. Would you guys want that? Would you want that series of videos here on this channel? Let me know. I'm just going to go up here. Hello, Gretchen. I love this advice. Make better videos. Everything you want on YouTube, subs, views, money, everything you can have by making better videos. And better videos mean compelling packaging, captivating intros, satisfying content that your audience enjoys so much that they click, watch all the way, and then want to watch another video or videos. I love this like breakdown of what better videos means, and that takes a little bit of effort. And if you're trying to kind of go through and just make it as easy as humanly possible, it is really not going to lead to anything, because that's life. It's literally life. So it doesn't matter whether we're talking about making videos, riding bikes, building, having a career in the corporate world. Like, I mean, that is life. So yes, can we get not an easy button, but a better video button? That would be amazing, Kathleen, right? Yes, you would want that series of videos. Okay. Is there anybody else interested in that? If I don't get at least 3 to 5 yeses, I'm not doing that series of videos, just so you know. Okay. Next question. Do you know how, from Novice, Darren? Oh, sorry. That was Salvation. Did that help? Are you still here? Did that conversation help? Darren, I have do paranormal stuff. I'm having a hard time getting views. What category would work best for my topic? So that, what I would do in your case, yes, do them 3 to 5 yeses. Okay. You just David Ryan just gave me 3 to 5 yeses. Okay. I guess that works. So I've seen, so I had a client, a student who I was working with in the paranormal industry. And, he has massive success in podcasting. And he tried a few things that did not work, I will say. But it also, like, I can't say that this wouldn't work for you. But just doing like campfire videos, like storytelling, actually did tend to work a little bit more, but doing like audio only or visual efforts while telling the story, like B-roll and stuff like that, didn't work so well. I will say the best thing that you can do is, again, think about that end result. Like what kind of videos are you trying to create, or community around those videos? Because you could take paranormal stuff a bazillion different ways. And one of what I would look at, I would start with some research, looking through the paranormal YouTube. We have TechTube. Do we have Paranormal Tube? But I would do some research on channels that have found success. If you're, and then compare, right? Your videos are not gaining traction. So what are you doing differently than they are? And also, you don't want to copy. You want to look at what's doing well, mimic, add in your own special sauce, your own format, right? Within that is obviously working. Because if you see like everybody in the paranormal space who's actually who's had growth, if you see that everybody in that space is, doing the same thing, then that's a trend you have to pay attention to, because the viewers obviously like that. If you're seeing that there's a few different formats that work, just spend some time in analyzing what's working, and what you also see that, like, scroll to the ones that aren't getting views. What are they doing? It might match your style, right? So there we go. Spooky Tube, Ghost Tube. There we go. We've got some options. Okay, thank you. Okay, y'all convinced me. Y'all convinced me now. I will do that series of videos. See, you got to speak up when I ask you questions like what you want on this channel. If you don't speak up, I'm going to take that as a no. So, Darren, start there. Then you'll have a little bit more clarity around what you can change within your format and your content. And it might be in delivery, it might be in visuals, it might be in length. And so, again, coming back to this fact that there isn't one right answer for every channel out there. If there was, we wouldn't have, everybody would be at the same level, if that makes sense, right? And so, I think we just have to be very aware of that. Got it. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to read this question a couple of times to understand it. I don't know why I was having a hard time with that. Do you know how the creator economy would weather out the storm of an assumed recession, or would it be impacted? This year is interesting because of that and some other factors, I'm sure. This year is interesting in a lot of the conversations that I'm having with my community, or my creator community and entrepreneur communities. I will say this, typically during a recession, so you know how positive I like to be. Typically during like a recession or an assumed recession or any like big issue of the world, right? Think about the pandemic. My gut and my go-to reaction is to play a different game, is to think a little differently about how we kind of go about that. My business blew up during the pandemic because part one was everybody then had to use video, right? Because they were stuck at home. And so that was a factor in it, but also taking a hold of that and saying how I saw so many people, so many of our students, so many of our community blew up during that process because they decided they weren't going to let that affect them. Does it mean that the same exact things are going to work that did before? No, but there's a ton of potential to thrive during an assumed recession, like kind of leading up to it, if it ever happens, and then during it. Massive companies, Netflix, Disney, I'm trying to remember all of the massive companies, Airbnb, started during a recession. I think Airbnb is correct. Started during the recession. And Nona, just so you know, I'm getting to, I'm getting to questions in the order that I've received them. If super chats take priority, but we get a lot of questions, so I go as fast as I can while giving you valuable answers. So I apologize, I haven't seen you're next in my list. So I see you coming up in the queue, but I just want you to know that I'm going in the order that they were received. So if the earlier you get here, the earlier you ask your questions, the faster I get to them, or you can super chat and take priority. Okay, so just in terms of the recession, like I want you to go into any hardship, whether we're talking recession, whether we're talking, personal hardship, whatever, with the mindset that you are going to thrive through that. There's story after story after story after story that's out there of people thriving because they decided to. It's as simple, it's not as simple as that, but it starts there. And when we think about the creator economy, what you're going to see during any potential or real recession then is maybe companies want to spend a little less on sponsorships, right? But they still have advertising budgets. And so they have to have advertising budgets because they have to continue to make money. And so it doesn't go away. But if you're on the sponsorship model, that's the case. in terms of like maybe you're doing affiliates for your community. People through a recession will absolutely spend money on the things that give them something. And that can look like happiness. That can look like entertainment and joy. Because people are stressed, right? So those are super valuable things to spend money on when belts are tight. People will spend money on things that get them to an end result that they want. So if you're on the affiliate side, you're trying to make money through affiliates, then what does your audience care about, right? So when you think about the creator economy and this question, it's really important to think about who your audience is, who your customer is. And if you're on the sponsorship model, that's also relevant to who your audience is and to who the company is. If you're doing affiliates, that's the people watching your videos and clicking the links to buy the stuff. So your mindset just needs to shift a little bit. But also those are really good things to think about at any time, regardless of what's happening in the economy. Does that help? Okay. If you have questions, keep them coming. I'm getting to them. The entertainment industry always does well. Exactly. Creators can take advantage of that. Exactly. Okay. Next question. Hey, there you are, Nona. Can you give me ideas about channels that cover crafts? Oh, one of my favorite topics, actually. I have a lot of students and community members that hang out in these live shows that do crafts. And crafts is a large world. A lot of different types of crafts. So what I want you to think about when you're creating content around crafting is one, lives really work really, really well for the crafting community because crafts are often like in the physical world, kind of often a solo, not always, but a lot of times it's a solo kind of experience. And I can story after story of crafters in my world and my students that have really seen a lot of success focusing on building community within that crafting content because it's something that people really want to like hang out and do together. And so that's something that I would highly suggest that you consider is really focusing on that community and togetherness. And doing some live streams. I would also record, it depends on which platform you're doing. If you're here, I'm assuming you're kind of on the YouTube side, but if you're on a different platform, let me know. Different platforms work differently with what content works. And so I would just say, again, do some research on other crafts of your type. So quilting, rug hooking, which is not something I knew about until until I had a student who does that. Is she here, by the way? Working on YouTube. Okay. And so like there's various different niches within the crafting world. Paper Pixie is a great one to actually look at on YouTube. She's killing it. She's doing really well. The Paper Pixie, if you search for that, you should be able to find her. And you can get some ideas for how she's kind of using live to connect with the community. Cindy Gay, rug hooking is another one that's, she's taken some time off. So you might be looking at older videos right now, but she's done really well as well. If you have product to sell, using your own products within the videos is really super helpful. Sarah Renee Clark is another person to watch on YouTube. I mean, she's super, super killing it. She's not my student. I just know her. But she is, if you're selling crafts as a product or want to at some point, she does really, really well with that process. And her video, like from a recorded video perspective, she does a lot of like art stuff. And so from a recorded video perspective, she's killing that, the style and the format. So those are some people to look at in terms of what's working out there. Um, and I would suggest doing that research, but hopefully that gives you some ideas. But again, community and giving people a sense of kind of purpose and togetherness can work really well for you. Hopefully that helps. All right, Renee, how do you decide which days and times of the week to go live? Do you prioritize your own schedule and well-being? Try to find a less competitive slot. Think about audience convenience. Yes, yes, all of it. No. You're welcome, Nona. So first and foremost, it has to work for you. Think about your energy level. You can't, if you're going to say, I'm going to prioritize my audiences, if we're talking live stream, now we're not talking about like uploading recorded videos, right? Specifically live streams where you have to be on. If you're going to say, like for me, I wake up at 4 a.m. and I get started with my day. My mind is going. By 2 p.m., I'm brain dead. And so I can't do much good after 2 p.m. I'm definitely not going to show up to a live stream and be like, I lose my words here already at 10 a.m., right? So these are things to think about. How does your body and your brain work? And then choose within those times. So if you also have like, this isn't the case for you, Renee, but for everybody's purpose here, if you have kids to pick up at 3 p.m., don't schedule your live stream at 2 p.m., right? You might go over, or you're going to be stressed, or right after the kids get home, right? Like these are things to think about. And so make sure that it works for you and your schedule. If there are a few times that would be options for you, then at that stage, you look at the audience's desires and needs. And YouTube, of course, has a graph that helps tell you when your audience is on YouTube, browsing content on your channel. I think it's specific to, actually, no, I think it's just on YouTube. You would be able to answer that better than I would. But that's kind of how I go through that process. Is I look at the my time, then the audience's time, and then competitiveness, right? And that's really hard to tell. Like there are some schools of thought that there are certain times of the day or weekdays that work. I'd love to see some data behind that. I really don't know that that's true, especially because different audiences are different habits, right? Active on YouTube, not just your channel. Okay, that's what I thought. And then I convinced myself otherwise. And then I was like, no, I think I was right. Listen to my instinct, girl. I've worked out my energy level is lower on Thursdays and Fridays, so I'm now taking that as my days off. I love that. Yes. During like summers, like I want to be out in the summer, right? So like during summers, like I change my work schedule, right? I'll work on the weekends while everybody else is out enjoying the hikes and the lakes. And I'll try to kind of shift my schedule a little bit to see like, yeah, I'm going to go out when there's not crowds to the popular places, take off during the week and go work through the weekend. That's totally fine for me, right? And I think we have to think about those things as well in our schedules. I know a lot of people, when we're talking about live streaming specifically, a lot of people will take summer breaks just so they can make sure that they focus on what they've got going on. They've got kids in the house, right? They've got camps going on. Their schedule changes because their kids' schedule changes. And so if you have a family like that, then that might be something to consider as well. Taking maybe a summer schedule or a bit of a break, maybe just less content too could be an option. You don't want to hurt your growth, but at the same time, you need to be happy living as well, right? So we kind of want to find a happy medium in terms of those decisions. Nona, can you give applications to edit our videos? Are you asking for like, so I don't do editing. I haven't done editing of my videos in well, probably 15 years out of the 17. I got editing off my plate as quickly as humanly possible because I hate it. But so the recommendations, I saw some people giving some recommendations in chat. I would go with those. Final Cut, Adobe Premiere are kind of like the higher level stuff, but even Filmic Pro on the iPad is an option. And so anything else that they recommended in the chat room, I would go with those. Those are the ones that I know to recommend. My editors use Premiere, but yeah, I can't speak. That's why I like bring in experts for stuff like that, because I can't speak to editing because I don't do it. Oh boy, this is the topic. Oh, you can get Final Cut on the iPad. Nice. Editing is something you actually enjoy. It's actually it is helpful to understand, to do it first, right? Editing is, and I actually did enjoy editing like story-based stuff. I've never really enjoyed editing like my talking head videos, but I did some story-based like docu-series type videos. I loved editing those because it was creation of an art form. But if you want to see the first video I did like that, oh God, I wonder if this has got it. I don't know if this is online. I would search Callie Lewis mozzarella. Maybe that would bring it up. I don't know. You guys let me know. Search that and see what comes up. That was like the first story-based like video I did. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying was it was helpful to actually like understand what you want your format to be. And by editing your own stuff, you kind of learn that. There's a flip side to that. Somebody else can do it faster, better, easier, and they can see things you can't. So if you get a good editor, you know, sometimes they can create something better than you can. So it's up to you, your budget, and all of that good stuff. But there are lots of options. So back to the conversation around schedules. Seasonality is also, some topics get fewer views. That's right. Yeah. In the Northern Hemisphere, because people are out and about, not home behind a screen. Yeah, for sure. Oh, DaVinci Resolve. This is another good one that people like. Free and very powerful. Don't say you edit your own videos. I have been trying to convince Renee for years to stop editing his own videos. Some people are stubborn like that. Does MKBHD still edit his own? No, I don't believe he does. Editing is relaxing to me. So, but you know, this is a whole other, okay. Yeah. So he doesn't. Oh, he still does the big videos. Okay. CapCut, there you go. Like whatever works for you, right? Now, here's the thing. What was I going to say? Oh, as you start making money with your channel, with your videos, as you start making that money, my go-to response is, how are you going to scale that money? Editing your own videos does, and this also depends on the lifestyle you want, right? Like, do you want to make more money once you start? Your time is money, right? Your time is valuable. And so you should be eventually focusing on the things that you do best. If you are a brilliant editor, brilliant storyteller, and that is what you do best, I would guess like Hayden Heiler-Smith would be a good example of this, right? I don't believe he uses a different editor, given that he is an editor. But like if that is like what you do best, then that makes sense. If editing is not really what you do best and you're more inefficient than somebody else would be, then my go-to is like, let's spend your time making you grow your business, growing the business side of things, and you focusing on doing more of the on-camera stuff, the collaborations, the things that you need to be focusing on. But that also can take some time to get to that point, right? Yeah, okay. This is we've had this conversation so many times, but it is a good point. Like, you're less efficient at business, so you hired an agent to do that side of things, right? You should hire both, yes, but I've kind of given up trying to convince you. I don't know. John, I love editing. I also like to build stuff. Yeah, you gotta make those choices for yourself. But I do want you to consider the fact that your time is valuable, right? Okay, more questions. Oh, I feel like I'm so far behind. We're 10 minutes past. I did this last week. Do you guys want to go on a little further? Because I have like several questions I can go rapid fire style. Yeah? Is it okay? Can you give me a big yes or no if I continue? We'll just go rapid style and like work through these questions. Melissa, do I have a podcast, Luria? Do I have a podcast? You're asking if I have a podcast. Yes, sure, let's do it. Okay, fantastic. I'm looking for creator podcasts to listen to while doing other work, and you're so helpful. Thank you so much. Melissa, I do not currently have a podcast. I am in the Podcast Hall of Fame, interestingly enough. I will probably do one at some point in the future, but not anytime soon. So, if anybody has podcast recommendations for Melissa, drop them in the conversation in the chat room. You can't link to anything, but you can tell the name of the podcast. It depends on what kind of topics you're looking for, Melissa. So maybe you could give a little bit. I'm gonna make her, oh boy, Paul. Yes, Paul, please do. Rapid fire timer. I would love to have that. That would be so fun because I will not be able to keep my word of keeping it rapid fire. So definitely that would be fun. Kathy, I have a Canon M50 Mark II, 16mm Sigma lens with a cam link. And when live streaming an Ecamm, I feel like my face shot is never super crisp. I'm hardwired to my router, ZV-10 a better option. So we have a settings video on the Canon M50 Mark II. If you have not watched that, I would highly suggest watching that. Make sure the settings are all set correctly. It's hard to say just from this information. I love you guys sharing your podcast. Oh, I love y'all for being such good community members, your podcast recommendations in there. So also check Ecamm settings. I'm sure you've looked at that. Just make sure that your Ecamm settings are set correctly. You could try if the cam link is, I mean, I'm not using a cam link currently, but you could go with a bit of a higher end capture card. But my guess is that you could try it and send it back if it doesn't change anything. But also it could be your computer, potentially. That's a little bit of a stretch, but I'd have to kind of troubleshoot that with you. We do offer options if you would like us to take a look at that. Not me, but my team. If you would like us to sit down with you and troubleshoot that with you, just reach out to support@livestreamingpros.com and we can talk to you about that. But sometimes those questions are hard to say because it could be a number of different things, and the troubleshooting process is necessary at some point as well. Okay, Nona, how can we make a live, but instead we show the video that we did not ourselves? I don't know if this makes sense. I went to are you asking how to play a recorded video? Callie's on vacation still. So she'll be back on Monday. So next week's show, she'll be around. If you're asking how to play a recorded video through a live stream, yes, you are. Okay, fantastic. Two answers to this. One, do not ever play only is key, play only a recorded video as a live stream and pretend that it's live. Don't ever do that. If you do, you will break trust faster than anything. And because people know, like, have you seen how many people pop on here and say like, is this live? and then I'm able to say, yes, I can call them out, and that builds trust, that builds community, that builds conversation, right? So that's my number one rule around that conversation. The how to do it is if you're going to like be live and then you're going to play a recorded video and then come back to camera and all of that, then what you can do is use software like Ecamm is what I'm using to do all of the fancy graphics, play our balloons. Oh, Callie's here? What? Oh, I'm a dork. I was like, why is Callie here? That's funny. Thank you. Y'all saw Callie. There she was. You can get more of Callie while she's on vacation by super chatting. That's funny. Let's see. So software like Ecamm is what I use. You can also do that through like StreamYard or Restream Studio if you don't want to set up software level 2 versus level 3. Gina, I've been an Amazon influencer for 2 years, but go live with somebody else, and we're having issues going live through Ecamm separately to YouTube. It only streams to one of our channels, not both. Okay. If I understand the question correctly, I'm just going to do a super quick screen share here. Demo mode. See, I can't do rapid fire, guys. I'm trying. Okay, I used to be good at rapid fire. You can play, just Nona, you can play recorded videos on a live stream. Absolutely. That is technically possible. I'm saying don't do it because people will know it's not live and you break trust, which trust is your number one priority when it comes to live. When it comes to creating content, when it comes to creation, all of the things, trust is number one. Without that, you got nothing long term. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, that was the wrong button. Hold on. Okay. If you go into, I can't show, I probably can't show this to you. So you got to set up destinations, one. So if you're trying to, so go into preferences and destinations and make sure you have those different channels set up. If what you're saying is, I'm going to go back to your question. I just want to make sure I understand the question. You may not be able to stream directly from YouTube to 2 different channels. Now that they have multi-streaming, I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to have to test that. If you're saying YouTube and Amazon, here's okay, I think I'm getting the issue here. The problem is likely the fact that Amazon requires, unless they've changed something, Amazon Live requires a different frame rate than you use on YouTube. And so if it's only going to YouTube and it's failing at Amazon, that's the problem. If it's going to Amazon and it is not going to YouTube, then you might just need to troubleshoot that. If you're saying you're going to 2 YouTube channels and Amazon, then you might want to use Restream instead of Ecamm multi-streaming. The other thing to think about, because again, when it comes to answering these technical questions, sometimes it can be multiple different things. And so I'm going to give you options to consider and troubleshoot with. The other thing I would look at is how much speed you have. Ecamm does tell you, now that they have multi-streaming, how much you need, and it's at a lower bit rate consideration. That number that Ecamm gives you is at a bit of a lower bit rate consideration that I would prefer and that I would recommend. So I would up that number a bit. So it may be that you're not streaming because you don't have enough upload speed. Something to think about. Okay, next question. Marianne, do the overlays work for Zoom? I don't have Ecamm or vMix, but thinking future vision of running stuff on Zoom. Marianne, we have a live training session. No, sorry. We have a live training session coming up in June and a on-demand course that also answers that question and shows you exactly how. If you want to reach out to support, we can direct you to that. But you're using Ecamm to set up these overlays like balloons. You can absolutely do this in Zoom, but you have to do it through Ecamm or vMix, sending that signal into Zoom. So they do work together, but you have to use the virtual cam for that. So that on-demand course actually shows you exactly what to think about and like all of the different so you have to choose different settings in Zoom and different settings in Ecamm to make sure that you're getting the right audio transfer and video transfer and all of that. Novice, do you think if I do a podcast about my YouTube journey in cosmetology school, it would work? I wouldn't recommend doing multiple formats until you get one that works, is my answer to that. Lifestyle, is it possible to send camera to 2 different computers and each computer make different streaming with different scenes? Yes, absolutely. So this is called dual computer streaming. So you can absolutely do that. I would recommend, so Harris Heller has a video that is spectacular on dual streaming. We might have done one as well. Do we have a video on that? I know that I've talked about dual streaming, but I think it was within another subject. So if we don't have that, Harris Heller on his Senpai Gaming channel has a dual streaming video that walks you through that process. But essentially, you're kind of connecting one computer as a camera source to the other one. And then you're splitting out the production of those 2 things. Does that make sense? It's kind of a head, it's a bit of a head bender. And so for anybody who hasn't done that yet. And so I just would recommend watching a video on that as well. Yeah. Ryan, I recently added video to my podcast. I have 200 episodes with audio only. Should I add them to my channel as audiograms? How often? Is anybody doing audiograms on YouTube successfully? I mean, I know the whole podcasting thing, but it seems to me that the channels I've seen that are doing podcasting and seeing success with that now that YouTube has the podcasting function, is more the video podcasts. But I think the idea behind it was like audiograms. Or at least one of the ideas behind doing that was for audio only. What I would start with, because from my perspective, YouTube podcasting is the wild, wild west, and we don't have answers yet. I don't think, again, from my perspective, I don't get the feeling that YouTube has figured out what it's supposed to be yet in terms of that, which I think they would say, the audience hasn't figured out what they want. So the algorithms haven't figured it out. And so anytime we saw this with shorts, we see it with any new format on any platform, it takes a while. And so right now is a perfect time for experimentation. If it doesn't work, switch gears. Once you find something that works, you're always going to have to experiment at some point, but you kind of want to go with that format that works. But in early stages of something like this, I think it's okay to just try things and see what sticks. And also do a bunch of research on your industry, your topic, and see what other people are doing as well. Okay, so I point to Renee anytime there's a conversation like this because he is the YouTube liaison. I probably wait for generative AI visuals that make it more interesting to potential viewers, not just listeners. So I've seen people try to do like, I don't think successfully, but I've seen people try to do like a looping video of some B-roll. So you could maybe start with that or generative AI for sure. Also, it's not hard to imagine YouTube will be making it easier to bring over existing podcasts at some point as well. Yeah. So yeah, I would say try research, but also experiment right now in this stage of what podcast on YouTube is my best answer on that. Do you have video setting for the Sony ZV-1? Not the 1F. I thought we did. Could be wrong on that. Search my channel. At some point you forget what videos you've done. But yeah, I search the channel for that. I kind of am doubting that is there, but if it is, you'll find it. And if not, the Sony ZV-1 settings aren't really that complicated. So you could kind of use the other Sony video or the Sony settings video that I have, because there's slight changes though. So you might want to just search for a specific setting video for that. I'm sure there are a bazillion of them on YouTube. Out of topic, where do I live? I live in the Portland area, Portland, Oregon. Technically I'm in Washington, but everybody knows Portland, Oregon. So yeah, that's where I live. Where do you live? All right. How to always stay motivated and get ideas for YouTube. Motivation and ideas are two very different things in my personal opinion. I have 5 minutes. Okay, I have 2 minutes because we got to run credits as well. So ideas for YouTube, once you unlock the way you get ideas, never a problem. Like, you can generate ideas all day long, every day for your topic. But you start with like a little brainstorm session of what do you know and what do people ask you, right? That is something to just brainstorm. I just tell people, grab a piece of paper and just brainstorm everything you know about your topic, everything that you've been asked about your topic, the most exciting things to you about your topic, and then you can start from there. The other way is to really dig into what people are already looking for in your topic, especially if you're doing how-to content. That doesn't always play out for other types of content, but I don't know that I know what your content topic is, sorry. But yeah, you can literally go to YouTube and search, go to the search bar, start talking about whatever, start your keywords, and it'll drop down a menu of the top 10 most searched for things. That will automatically give you some ideas, right? Motivation is really about loving, motivation primarily starts at not focusing on the wrong things. You've got to focus on not vanity metrics. When you focus on vanity metrics, you get demotivated very, very quickly. And so I know views are exciting. I know subscribers are very exciting. And that's the way the world works. We focus on those. And it's your job, in order to stay motivated long term, to not focus on vanity metrics like that. Not a popular answer, but the truth. All right. Oh, that's right. Crafts. I'm sorry. I didn't stick that in my head. Thank you. So crafts, yeah, crafts, I would absolutely go to the YouTube search bar, start there. You can Google as well. Y'all, I did a terrible job at rapid fire, but I tried to go a little faster for you. I have thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you. Thank you for all of the great questions. I am here every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. We do have new balloons in the store. You can go to livestreamingpros.com/store. The link is pinned to the chat and in the description. If you have not subscribed, please do. And you'll get notifications when we show up every single week for you. You can ask questions. And oh yeah, Let's Go Sew is another person in the crafting industry to take a page out of. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for being an amazing community and supporting each other and not just talking to me. And we're going to put our dancing shoes on. Everybody put your dancing shoes on. Okay, so this is new to you since it's your first time, Nona. We put our dancing shoes on, okay? And we're gonna dance this baby out. I'm gonna roll those beautiful being credits. Thank you so much to all of our YouTube members, and I will see you next Friday.
Honey, I got what you want. Give me all of your love, 'cause it's burning hot.